Hey everybody, and welcome to Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
Jordan.
And this week we have news about Wonder Woman, we have news about Deadpool, we have some news about Fantastic Beasts, a few other things we'll probably get to.
Basically, we'll be all over the place.
Yeah, as we usually are. How was your Halloween?
I was lazy as shit. I didn't do a goddamn thing except watch horror movies.
Nice. I do have to ask, though, because every Halloween season you go through and you watch a boatload of horror movies. Was there any that just stood out to you? Doesn't have to be the best or the worst or the scariest. Just a movie that stood out to you when you're watching it this season.
Yes and no. It was very weird because I most of the horror movies I do watch are the older ones. Like none of them are before 1995, except this year. This is the year where I sat down. It's like, hey, literally at work, I'm like, children, what horror movies do you guys like? What do you mean? Have you seen Insidious? That one's pretty good. The fuck what is an Insidious? It's a series that came out. It's really good. There's like 2 of them. Later I found out, I'm like, no, there's 3. Oh, The Conjuring's good. There's like 3 of those. There's 2 and a spin-up, but I'll give you that one.
All right.
And like, and then a friend of mine brought up the Saw movies. They had told me that they really liked it, and I just remember thinking, I remember told her, it's like, yeah, I saw 3 in theaters. And then I saw 1 like a week and a half later. Nah, I didn't really care for it. 1 was good, though.
So you tried a whole bunch of the newer ones out there.
The worst Halloween weekend, that's Saturday, Sunday, and then on Monday I finished it. But like I saw 1 through 7, rewatched the Scream special from the TV show, watched a movie called Oz Zombies, which, if you're drunk, oh my god, that is a good drunk... That's a good one. But yeah, I ended up watching like all of them. Like even the week prior to, I watched Insidious 1, 2, and 3. I watched The Conjuring 1 and 2, and Annabelle, which is the spinoff.
So you were all over the place in terms of horror movies then.
At least it was within. I enjoy the fact it was within the last like 10 years or 15 years tops. So I haven't done that. But it bothered me after a while, because most modern movies, or at least the more like Insidious and Conjuring, it's like, let's do ghosts. I don't find ghosts scary at all. But if I had to pick a movie, like, are we talking like one that I'll watch probably many more times, or just like which one was the scariest and enjoyed?
No, just one that stood out in your mind that you would not mind watching again.
Zombies, because I already did.
Fair enough. Well, what about I do have to bring up the one that you brought up when we were hanging out.
The Final Girls.
Yeah, The Final Girls. Explain what this movie is, because it was bad, but it was hilariously
It was good,
bad.
Though. Like, that's what's weird about it.
It was.
I always wanted to be a final girl. You're a guy. You know what I mean. It's basically this story of these kids who somehow end up getting sucked into this horror movie that was done 20 years. Think Last Action Hero, but like a comedy and with horror, which is counterintuitive, I know.
They get sucked into a horror film, but the movie itself is comedy.
Yeah. And it's basically, it's parodying basically little bits of everything, but the majority of it's making fun of Friday the 13th. It's a good one.
Oh, God. So many bad jokes. So many bad everything in that movie. But it was so entertaining, though.
Because it's one of those things, like, it's a love letter to that genre, that 80s slasher horror. So yeah, we look at it and laugh. But you know, when the nerd character, which is cool because he's not throughout the entire thing pointing everything out,
right,
is when it's like, oh, you can't kill me because I'm technically not in the movie. Oh man, those two are about to have sex. Oh, they're fucked. Like all these tropes as nerds that we know to avoid. Like it's that if I was in that situation, I could survive the whole movie because I'm not stupid.
Right.
Sure enough, technically out of the group of friends that go into the world, he is the first one to go.
Yes, he is. Quite early on, too.
Well, no, he was still the first.
Yeah?
I'm trying to remember later. Yeah, and he dies in ridiculous ways.
Yes. Oh, so, fun times if you guys can find it out. Would you find it on Google Play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just bought it. Like, I rented it, and it's like, this movie's actually really good. And then had a couple people over. It's like, have you ever seen this movie? No? Fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it, because chances are I'm gonna watch this shit again, too.
Yes, so definitely check it out. Find it on Google Play. It's probably on a couple other streaming sites out there. Well worth your time.
Best horror movie, though, and it's going to sound weird, Insidious.
Really?
Yes. 3 was absolute fucking garbage, but
I never saw any of them, so I couldn't say one way or the other.
3 is absolute garbage, but 1 and 2 are kind of like Rocky. Like, I know that's weird.
That's a weird thing to say.
Cause Rocky 1 is really, really good.
Okay.
Rocky 2 is basically takes off right where 1 ended. 2 just picks right back up again.
Yeah.
And it fills in some gaps from 1, but continues the story and gives you like an actual thing. So you could view it as it's appropriately named Insidious Chapter 2.
Okay.
It had some things that I still have questions about. Mm-hmm. But again, next year apparently we're getting Insidious 4.
Is this going to turn out to be one of like the Saw franchise where there's a new one every year or every other year?
I don't know. So I think The Conjuring was done, but Insidious, they definitely left it to where there was more or there could be more questions.
Okay.
But if you want to watch a good scary movie, Insidious 1 and 2, that's probably my best bet. Good movies altogether for Halloween. New picks would be Zombies and The Final Girls.
A nice lineup there. Should we get from that, though?
Dude, I watched like 20 horror movies in the span of the month.
I'm not surprised in the least by that, though.
My number should be higher.
Are you challenging yourself for next year?
No. Good God, man. There was one year I got through like 40. Because I would sit there, it's like, I ain't doing shit today.
I was going to say, did you not, like, work during that?
No. It was like back when I was a server, so I was working like 5-6 hours. But like when I was working, it was working. Mm-hmm. When I had days off, I was working. And by working, I mean it's like, I'm not putting on pants and I'm watching horror movies. And just went through and just like ruined Netflix, which is something that's bothering me because you can't do that anymore.
Yeah? Because
Netflix announced earlier I think either this week or the week before, their whole thing is they want to cut back on spending money for licenses on older movies,
and
which
focusing on
which is the reason why
originals.
You fucking have Netflix, and they're funneling that movie into original content, which I understand because the original content's good, but at the same time it bothers me. Because that's not why we have Netflix.
Well, let's jump into that real quick. I mean, when Netflix first started, aside from being DVD, we're just going to go just to when it was a streaming platform itself.
Okay, so
they were kind of like the Walmart of movies. They would try to have as much as humanly possible. Probably Walmart's not the best thing. Maybe Amazon.com before they do their videos. I'm just stating that they had a massive backlog of some great old movies. Yeah. Some newer movies, but also the great old TV shows that you were able to go to. I know they're not as profitable right now compared to what Netflix is trying to do, but for them to lose that, though, is it smart for Netflix to try to focus more on their original content worldwide? Because I look at it that way as it's an opportunity for another company to come in, try to swoop up all of those old TV shows, all those old movies, and basically say, we're not going to
Amazon.
Amazon itself is still getting into the original content. Not as much as, say, Netflix, but they definitely are on a battleground at that point. I just want a company to come out and say, we have this massive back catalog of all your favorite TV shows, all your favorite movies.
Amazon's slowly growing. Amazon basically came out and was like, oh, Netflix is doing that. We're going to do the same thing. But as we're building, we're going to start building our backlog more and more and keep what we're doing like as it is. Like, we're okay releasing, 3 new series a year. That's all you really need. Maybe even 4. 4 new series, 1 for each season. And you can just we have our shit. You can enjoy it for what it is. But this is why we have everything else. But with Netflix, the fact that they're like, no, we're going to cut back on having the content, the reason why you signed up with us.
Right.
And we're going to start pushing more and more and more towards original content. And I'm not okay with that.
I am, to a point, okay with it.
You're becoming HBO.
Which is, again, they're trying to go after that. They wanted to be a competitor in that marketplace for a premium experience in terms of a TV series. So they started, focusing so heavily on House of Cards, and then they spent a shitload of money on getting House of Cards nominated for an Emmy and then subsequently winning not only one but several Emmys.
Yeah.
They try to put themselves on that same platform. I know Amazon has a larger back catalog, or seems to have a larger back catalog right now, but I can easily see Amazon going the same path as Netflix. Now, would it be smart for them to keep the old back catalog as much as possible? Yes, but the problem is sometimes these companies don't have a say in it. The company that owns the rights to the Criterion Collection, arguably one of the best, collections of great movies out there. Basically, where you have a group out there who could say, like, all these old movies, these are the ones that you need to watch. These are the ones that were fantastic. These are the ones that changed minds. These are the ones that, not only just won awards, but also won hearts and minds, and something that's going to last for ages. They used to be on, I want to say, Hulu, or there was some other streaming service, and so they recently left to team up with the Time Warner Classics or something like that. And they did this extra tier. It was so weird that the original tier for like $6 a month was just basic crap, just stuff that people just had access to.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, but then for an extra $5-6 a month, now you can get the Criterion Collection as well, and some extra little bonus features here and there, which has zero coverage in terms of people knowing where this stuff is at, and then they're pinning all their hopes on the Criterion Collection bringing more people in. Honestly, at that point, I would have turned around and just left to Amazon or left to Netflix and have them create a really nice sweetheart deal.
See, the one that, as more when we're talking about this, I do want to bring up the CW deal again, because that's something that's festering up here.
Go for it.
Because I don't know how that's going to play. I think we may have talked about it before.
We've briefly mentioned it here and there, yes.
Yeah, but this is the first year we're going to actually see it take hold. And
the full view, the app and whatnot.
Yeah, well, no, I meant more or less their deal with Netflix.
Okay. Yes.
They're trying to leave Hulu, and they have their thing now where it's like, cool, you give us 2 weeks after the premiere or the finale, and we get your show.
Right.
And that's fine, because at first I'm like, okay, that means Hulu can get the more relevant stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately at the start of the new seasons. Because let's be honest, fall is kind of the beginning of TV. It's kind of like school. Like, it's paired up. Like, that's the beginning of the year. I don't give a shit. Like, January 1st, you buy a new calendar. No, technically the beginning of the year is like September.
It's like September 1st, yeah.
But with the CW app, it kind of makes no sense for Hulu anymore.
No, it doesn't. Hulu's in this weird position right now where they're more
creating original content and getting movies to add to their backlog?
No, they're doing another bit now. They're trying to jump ahead of that. Because now they're trying to do what, like Apple was trying to do, which is provide a live stream platform. Basically, they're announcing they work on this deal with, not surprisingly, Fox, Disney, ABC. I mean, all those channels that they already had deals with.
Disney signed a deal with Netflix, too.
Yes.
And wasn't their deal? It's like they're going to get everything now?
Like the movies and all of the Star Wars stuff and all the Marvel stuff.
Exactly.
Yes. But the thing is, though, what this new Hulu thing is being worked on, it's actually live stream, taking the channels that you have right now on cable, but now you can stream them live through Hulu itself for probably a higher price.
Mm-hmm. Are they trying to incentivize cord cutting?
All these companies are trying to do that. Hell, DirecTV, even with the AT&T, buyout and whatnot, they came out and said, we are working on a internet-only platform for DirecTV, where we won't give you any more specifics, but for right now, our main goal is we will give you 100 channels that you can stream. Doesn't say how. You could be, on your phone, on your computer, Xbox, whatever, for $35 a month. Not a bad deal, but I want to see those channels. If it's Telemundo 1 through 57, I'm not going to spend $35 on it.
That's exactly what it is.
I mean, if they turn around, it's like, we'll include HBO in this, we'll include Showtime, well,
that's upper tier stuff, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, but it's where everybody's going to. There's either original content where the streaming companies are going for, that they're spending a boatload of money on, and it's also the trying to incentivize cord cutting because they see a lot of people cutting the cord. They're getting rid of cable. They're getting rid of satellite, and they were saying, well, why don't we just update how we do our provide our services so that we'll still relatively keep some of these people who are trying to cut the cord, but we still get money from them.
The problem is I worry that these steps aren't moving forward. It's just lateral movement.
No, it's a completely lateral movement. It's things like PlayStation View. Things like
maybe not lateral, but have you ever seen someone just like move in a figure eight? It's like you might move forward for a little bit, but you're going back.
You're going right back, yeah.
And then you're trying to steal from someone else, and you're moving forward. It's just that weird.
Yeah. That's why
Mobius strip of fuckery.
That's why I look at like PlayStation View. They offer actually a decent selection of channels, streaming, cloud DVR, the works you can use on a Roku, and a bunch of other stuff for a decent price. Sling is cheaper, but they have a bunch of problems with it. But now we're starting to get, direct TV involved. And they're going to start doing tiers and packages. And next thing you know, instead of you just cut a physical cord, but you're still, caught by the balls on this thing.
Man, could you imagine if they just pulled like a McDonald's menu of things? So what do you want for your plan today? Well, I'll get the classic movie channel. Gotta get Cartoon Network for the kids.
It's gonna happen.
We're getting that.
It's totally gonna happen. If I can pick a la carte though, like
that's
I'm gonna pick
saying,
ESPN, I'm gonna pick Disney, BBC America,
that's
whatever.
What I mean though. Like seriously, just you pick your plan. Or even in a donut format where it's like you get 12. What 12 do you want?
I would love a la carte.
That one's a bonus. That one's $2 more. You cool with that? Yeah.
Which Apple is getting close to with their, with Apple TV. Their whole TV app right now is bullshit because it doesn't include Amazon or Netflix, so it's kind of crippled from the get-go.
But that's like Google. That's a Chromecast.
They're getting to that idea that each channel is just an app. That's perfect because you can go a la carte on that. But what the problem is with like not PlayStation View, but like Sling and DirecTV and whatnot, they're gonna do the package deals where it's like if you want this channel, you have to buy this whole package of like 8 channels, and out of those, maybe 2 of them you want, and the rest of them you're not even gonna watch at all. Why am I gonna pay for that?
You want Cartoon Network and BBC America? That's cool, but you're getting Telemundo, you're getting the Home Shopping Network, and you're getting the Republican Party's not far enough for me, so I need this channel.
That which shall not be named.
But I don't know. That's something that's been worried. I don't know why I thought of, and I made us go on that long tangent. But
that's perfectly fine. But it came up with an honest, point that everything's moving online for better, and unfortunately, for some cases, for worse. Because it's the cable channels, the content providers who are trying to turn around and say, well, why don't we just modify what we do already, but online? Like, no, the point of everybody cutting the cord is to get away from that aspect.
Yeah. We're trying to leave you.
Yes. There is a podcast
it's like when you're at a bar and you're hanging out and it's like, fuck, that one guy showed up. All right, let's bail. All right, cool. Go to the next bar. Hey, guys. I thought why are you following us?
Exactly. If you guys are more interested about this, I'm sure we'll bring it up numerous times in future episodes.
As we get updates.
But there is a podcast that I listen to on a weekly basis that I get a lot of this information from, and I agree with their hosts a lot. It's called Cord Killers. The hosts are Tom Merritt and Brian Brushwood. And you can find it on your favorite podcast catcher. They can go to, I think, cordkillers.com. You just search on YouTube, you can see their channels their past channels as well. You've listened to a few of them as well.
When we worked together at the old job, it's basically what we'd listen to and from work.
Yeah.
That and DTNS, Daily Tech News Show, which has the other guy, the one guy I really enjoy listening to. Good stuff. Anywho.
Yeah. So that was fun. So let's get back to stuff that we had planned to talk about.
Transitions are weird.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
So a new trailer came out, and I'm starting to have a little bit of concern.
Really?
Overall, I like the tone. Overall, I like the design. I like the setting. The cinematography is eerily reminiscent of another movie that unfortunately focused everything on its cinematography. And that was 300. Lots of slow motion, lots of zooms. Usually in combination.
But it also wasn't, although, yeah, I'm starting to see that now. Just fade out sepia tone for grayscale.
Yes.
But I blame Zack Snyder having his hands and everything.
It's a style.
I'm just saying, I don't care if you watch the Zack Snyder. You're a terrible person. You've done bad things.
It's a
Fuck you.
design that I just don't agree with. Um, it doesn't really do much except for try to get some really cool poses that you can use as screenshots for marketing materials later on. Having Wonder Woman, block bullets, that's what she does. That's awesome. Use her gauntlets for that. Do I need to see 8 different times of her in slow motion blocking it and it's splintering to a million pieces and whatnot? That's probably cool for like 2, maybe 3 shots. I don't need to see that more than that.
You need to see it. You only need to see it once, but you need to see it in slow motion. So like 2 seconds is now like 30 seconds.
Slow motion with fast zoom. So it's slow motion, quick zoom over here, quick zoom over there.
I get the point of it, but it's something you can't do too much of.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I get you do it because it's supposed to make you feel disoriented, like you're in the shit.
Right.
But
I mean, I understand CG has come a long way. But it was just kind of apparent there were several moments in the trailer itself that it was a blatantly CG.
I mean,
character.
It looks good though. I mean, like I
am nitpicking as all hell right now.
But
am I going to go see
what
this movie? Yeah. Yes, but I just have these concerns about the cinematography. Should it have a great story? Yes. Will it?
See, I'm just worried that I'm going to get drunk enough and I'm going to make a stupid bet and lose. Where it's going to be like, Jordan, you have to go see the movie dressed as Wonder Woman now.
Oh, geez.
Fine. Fuck you. Because I make terrible decisions in life.
I was going to say, I won't make that bet, but...
I'm just saying something
because no one wants to see me in a slip. No, that's not going to happen.
I mean...
No.
Do
not give him ideas on this one.
When you're driving down the freeway and there's a really bad accident, I mean, you don't want to look, but you have to.
I've already done this once in my life. Do I need to really do it again?
No goatees. But no, I will say this, I am excited for it. I am worried the fact that it looks like visually they are trying to keep things in the same universe. Mm-hmm. Keep that grayscale.
Dark and gritty.
Which that bothers me just because, again, Marvel didn't do that at all.
No.
Their movies switched it up depending on what the story needed to fit, what the story needed to be, and that's what you decided the overall tone of.
Within reason, yes.
Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is visually nothing like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Very true, yes.
Thor 1 and Thor 2.
We're talking about the design, the overall cinematography of it. Yes. Okay, no, I agree with you with that. Story-wise, it's almost cookie cutter in terms of, like, insert villain, and they get defeated, but they come back and rally together and win at the end of the day. But it's going to happen the same thing with Doctor Strange, but it still does not deter me from going to see it. That's classic hero
story.
Yes,
it
is.
You're going to see that in everything.
Yes, but the problem is we've seen it...
Oh, I'm sorry, he has a cape now. We've seen this before. Bitch, you've been seeing this since the day you were goddamn born.
Yes.
I'm sorry the fact that someone's made it apparent to you that, everything's not special, unique, just like you. Sorry. Eat a bag of dicks. But I don't know, like, I'm excited. Like, after this new trailer, I was more excited for this than I probably am the Justice League movie. Sans Batfleck.
No, I agree with you. Like, I'll still go see this movie. It still looks exciting to me. It looks... If this is where DC is going to go with their movies, overall, trying to go with the Justice League type movies, it could possibly work. I'm just worried that halfway through filming one of these movies, it's going to turn around and some suit is going to go and say, this doesn't work with our demographic. So we need to change it all of a sudden. It's going to be Fantastic Four all over again.
No, I think they're already there.
You think they're already there?
I think they're already there. The only difference
is... they already were there with Batman versus Superman.
Exactly.
I agree with you completely with that.
The only difference is you have bigger names behind it. And I don't just mean the actors. I mean the fact that if it wasn't for the fact that it is Batman, it was Superman, that movie would have been Fantastic Four.
Yes.
If it's the fact that these movies aren't great, but they're relying on the brand name hero... Wonder Woman, you immediately go Linda Carter or all these things, like you have something behind it. Mm-hmm. If you say Fantastic Four and you're like, there's that one guy who's bright orange, right? What's his deal? To me, these movies are exactly the same, except packaging.
Fair enough, and I agree with that. My
rebuttal
to that is basically... I'm trying to be hopeful. This is not going to be a very strong rebuttal. I will say that. I'm hoping that Wonder Woman will be a pivot to where they look at what happened with Bats v Soups and realize, yes, it made a decent amount of money, but man, what a clusterfuck did you create?
I think it will, but it'll pivot in the wrong direction. What I think would happen with this, the things that we like is the fact that it's starting to differ away. Mm-hmm. And Warner Brothers...
You think they'll pivot right back?
They're going to look, it's like, no, see, this can work. No, this works, see? People actually like this.
Oh,
we can go further down this rabbit hole now. When really you should be turning in the opposite goddamn direction.
Yes, yeah, you are right. So it sounds like we're in agreement that Wonder Woman has a good chance of being a decent film, but unfortunately the powers that be will turn around and say, no, it's not, not what we're looking for.
After watching the trailer, describe it in one word. One word that would sum up how you feel about that trailer.
Generic?
Potential. Like, it shows signs of being not shit.
A lot of fighting, some
I think they're going to have some story and some cool visuals. Mm-hmm. Maybe a cool fight scene or two.
Yeah. If they can get away from the goddamn, slow motion zoom.
Be honest, did you laugh at the end too? Because even in the trailer, you can't escape. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all you need, apparently, is that god-awful noise.
You just play that over and over again, and certain fanboys will jizz in their pants.
Oh, dude, when I first saw the trailer, there was an article. Someone's like, man, I could listen to that on repeat. And internally, I'm like, I hope they're being sarcastic. It's the internet, so I don't know.
I mean, you may have, favorable memories from Wonder Woman's of the past and whatnot, but that music alone is shrill.
Because I was hoping it was going to die in Batman vs. Superman, like that was like their fight music. But then sure enough, at the end of the Wonder Woman trailer...
That's okay. The thing is, though, it's brand marketing 101. For better or worse, we now associate that always with Wonder Woman, so it will always be there. Because we're talking about it right now is the exact reason why they're going to keep on doing that.
I associate with all the shit movies. I don't just associate with her. It's shit Justice League.
Well,
but
we'll see what happens. Because
they're doing so well right now. People lost their shit because the Amber Heard photo came out last week, and I love the Ginge, and there was part of me that went, I'm okay with this. And then I remember it was Amber Heard, and then I kind of stopped caring. And then just today, I think it was earlier this week at some point, the director of the Flash movie backed out.
Yes.
So the movie got delayed. Mm-hmm. So, everything's coming up Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Do you just imagine, like, there's some Disney or Marvel exec right now just... We got Doctor Strange this weekend. Oh, man, we're going to make so much money off of that. Don't forget Guardians.
No.
Guardians.
You have, within the next 6 months, you'll have Doctor Strange, Moana, Star Wars Rogue One.
Well, I was thinking more or less just Marvel side of things.
Oh, just Marvel side of things?
Just because Marvel's like, so what's Warner Brothers doing right now? They just lost their director?
It's just Doctor Strange, though, alone that will still destroy that.
Again. And the fact that they have Guardians coming out, in March?
Yes.
Still within the 6-month range.
March 2017, and the corresponding ride at Disneyland, and most likely the...
But you know what I mean? Like, whoever they are, there's like, oh, we're going to put things on cruise control right now?
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, how's that going for you? Our shows are doing good. What was that, Greg Berlanti? I'm still talking? I'm going to go fall asleep on a giant pile of money.
I was going to say, even at that point, you just look at just the Netflix stuff itself.
Well, because I actually started watching Flash, because all that shit's back now.
Right.
Flash, still kind of cool. They went the whole Flashpoint paradox thing, and then it's cool. Arrow, they're getting back to it being decent.
Yes.
Which is nice, because last season was...
Who was it? The former action star, the old guy. Dolph Lundgren. Isn't he?
Apparently, he's in the next episode, apparently.
Nice.
Episode 6. 5 is going right now. 6 is next.
I'm a couple episodes behind, so I need to catch up.
It's what I do at work now. Well, not like when I'm on lunch. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But, Warner Brothers, they are straight dropping the ball on shit. Because I think the Cyborg movie recently started trying to announce it, trying to get people hyped for things.
Yep.
Like, I think the only thing they have remotely going for them right now is, you had it on the list.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
No, the Justice League Dark. The animated movie.
The animated movie, yes.
We are getting the animated movie, which motherfucking Matt Ryan again.
Yes.
The fact that even the dude's like, we're sorry, like we think John Constantine now.
Yeah.
You know,
it is always going to be Matt Ryan from now.
Matt Ryan,
and I am fine with that.
Matt Ryan is that like little pickled ginger when you get sushi. He's that palate cleanser to help you forget that Keanu and fucking Shia LaBeouf did Constantine. So
the name's John Constantine, asshole.
Just bring back the show, okay? You had something good there, and you fucked it.
Yeah. Well, even the directors of the showrunners for Arrow are all like, I'm all down for bringing back Constantine.
That's them trying to appease fans.
At that point, just give him his own goddamn show. Well, you were successfully able to grab a show from CBS and bring it back over. Yes, you're within the same company, I know that, but still, you are now the home for all of this. Just take the extra step, take the initiative, go there. You know Matt Ryan's ready for this stuff, and you can make a fantastic series.
But again, I just think they're being asshats about it and just kind of doing the whole, oh yeah, no, we totally want that. Because, it's what the fans want, and we're fans of it too. Fuck you, Jeff Johns. Okay? You are also on my shit list. Okay? You hurt me deep with Green Lantern. You tried promising us, and even Jason, whose memory is sometimes shit on these weird things that I can remember.
It's fine.
You said Green Lantern was going to be good.
Just ignore me. I'm just pouring some deliciousness. You say you still have the rest of the Oban 14, which we have polished off, and now we're on the Redbreast 12.
Daddy needs a little hatred juice. And
you
then you said the same thing. We'll get to that one in a minute.
Yeah.
And then you said the same thing about Batman vs Superman. You're not doing so great, buddy.
Didn't you also have they brought him in the last minute to try to fix some of the editing for Suicide Squad?
Probably. Yeah. Fuck if I know. But the stuff I'm seeing from Justice League Dark looks good.
Yes. For every live-action debacle that Warner Brothers has with their DC lineup, they're doing fantastic with their animated movies. With next one, Justice League Dark, which has been in the works for a very long time. Basically, if you're not aware of it, Justice League Dark is basically a collection of characters who are on the base.
Look, what we're getting is we're getting what I refer to as kick cereal. It's good, but it's not quite what you want. Let's be honest. A few years ago, when they announced they were going to have Guillermo del Toro do a Justice League Dark movie, most of the people who knew these characters were like, "Yep, that sounds fantastic."
Yes.
You immediately thought to that gif of Stephen Colbert just going, "Give it to me now." But so, I mean, the fact that we do have Matt Ryan, we are getting Justice League with everyone involved, or the characters we know.
Zatanna, Deadman, Swamp Thing. I'm missing one.
Etrigan?
Etrigan and Batman.
Well, they mentioned that Batman's not really part of it.
He just shows up.
Batman's the going back to again, he's the Keanu Reeves. He's the everyman you can associate with. Like, he's just there so you have something to bounce off of. So, when you see someone be like, oh yeah, no, that's a buck naked ass demon masturbating to a pile of flames. And they continue, and you can have Batman as a character. It's like, I'm sorry, there's what?
Back up a second.
You rewind. Come again? Like, because in situations like this, you need to have that character. And, you can't have Batman in that situation, or Superman in that situation. Because one, Superman's a bitch. And two, that was one of his weaknesses is magic. So I can only assume that's why Justice League has to sit out. They're going to bring that up.
They have to. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully it's good.
The other Warner Bros. Thing that we were just starting to talk about was the upcoming Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. The start of what was recently revealed as a quintology. 5. Is
that a saga at that point?
It pretty much after 4, it's a saga, isn't it?
I don't know what the number for saga is. I know like 5, or you have your original, then you have like your sequel, and then
trilogy,
3 is a
quadrilogy, and then quintilogy.
But like, is 4, does it become a saga at that point, or is 4 just a series?
I think 4 would just be a series at that point. We're talking semantics at this point. We can
disregard females, obtain currency. But Harry Potter was announced that Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is going to be 5 movies now, instead of what, it was only going to be 3 originally?
They used to be like 1 or 2, and then they were like, we're making it 5.
No, I could have swore it was going to be like a trilogy of some kind. Like, they need their movies.
It was the rumor of that.
Yeah, I don't... you know what? It was probably one of those things where it's like, this is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This is, you know, Scalamandras'. This is Scalamandras' part 2. Like, it's...
They
like
stretch it out.
The last 2 is just one movie, but we cut it into 2 to make shit work.
Right.
But maybe that's what they're going to do with this one. This way you still get your trilogy, but...
Right.
Well, still, fuck, that wouldn't work either. Fuck it.
Anyways.
But...
So with this movie coming out soon, there's high hopes about it. It takes place decades before Harry Potter ever showed up.
Where he was a tingle in his father's pants.
So with this one, aside from mentioning there's going to be 5 movies of this, there's already been the announcement that Johnny Depp is actually going to be joining in a sequel, I should say, of Fantastic Beasts. Does not mention what he's going to play, but given the popularity of this actor, it's not going to be just some simple cameo. It's not going to be.
I was hoping for that.
It's not going to be like a Nathan Fillion kind of thing where they show up for 2 seconds. You're like, oh my god!
He was the voice of that one thing. No, I'm legitimately hoping it's like what South Park did in its like first seasons.
Sorry.
Where South Park did their whole thing where it's like famous celebrities wanted to be a part of it. So they'd give him like the most arbitrary roles ever. Like Jerry Seinfeld was Turkey number 5. Right. George Clooney was Sparky the gay dog. Like I legitimately hope it's like, troll that gets punted out of the bar for being too drunk. Yeah, that was Johnny Depp going, no. just to troll people.
It's gonna happen, yeah.
But I'm excited for the new Harry Potter movie. I know I still need to catch up. I've not seen many of them. I'm pretty sure I have not seen movies 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'll tell you what. We won't do it in advance of this movie because this movie comes out in like 15 days. We maybe could, but we're not going to. I will say we'll do what we did for the Bond films.
Do you have them or something?
Between Jess and I'm sure we have access to all of them.
Huh.
We'll have to sit down and watch them.
Whichever, man.
Yeah, we'll figure that part out later on. But
as long as we don't have to wear robes, I'm sorry. We're large, sweaty men. That many layers? No. This will not do well.
I could be in a blizzard and I'll still be like, it's so hot, I'm getting to vapors. But
Lordy, this flower is a wilting madam. But I'm excited for this movie in general. I'm curious to see where they're going to go with everything. I am a little afraid the fact that they're doing the whole, we're going to stretch it out maybe. Like we're going to add more movies. Now, I'm hoping for that's just they had, once they started writing, they realized they could do so much more with these characters than just a one-off movie. So it's like, what if we had him do this? Or what if he went on this adventure? What if we finally explain the fact that there is an American wizarding school? Because that was something that wasn't announced until recently either.
But the whole thing about this...
But you know what I mean? Like, the writing of more material, Jess, I'm hoping it's because she got the creative juices flowing and decided there's more I want to tell.
Yeah, this is her experiment with the wizard world.
Not Warner Brothers coming out saying we need more movies. No, we need more fodder. What can you give us?
Yeah, this is all her decision.
This is why we need to get Jess and Michael on this. You guys hear what's going on. She's going back and forth and basically saying this is J.K. Rowling basically going saying, yes, I have more stuff to talk about. This is all about the American wizarding schools and
basically there's more of the universe she wanted to flesh out and expand upon.
Yes.
Luckily, Jess pays attention to that more than we do. So
fantastic.
Neat.
The big thing that people are rumored right now that
is that Ezra Miller's actually in this, and fuck him.
Yeah, that's gonna
not
happen.
on my shit list, but
yeah. No, it is who Johnny Depp's possibly going to play. It's already been announced by the director David Yates, and of course J.K. Rowling was talking about it.
Hagrid in his early 20s.
An epic fight that happens between two friends, between Albus Dumbledore and his really good friend. I'm going to butcher this.
Grindelwald.
Gellert Grindelwald. They were good friends. They were actually conspiring to lead this massive I guess revolution, I guess you say, and introduce or reveal all the Wizarding World to Muggles worldwide. But then they had an argument, and there was a duel, an epic duel that ended up which gave Dumbledore the Elder Wand. So it's going to be a massive fight. So a lot of people are wondering, is Johnny Depp going to play Grindelwald? We're not going to find out for some time.
He's
because
young Dumbledore.
Johnny Depp is young Dumbledore?
Why they should not? I mean, I would like if they brought Michael Gambon back. But I mean, I can't take him seriously anyways, because now every time I see him in something, he's Kazaran Sardak from Doctor Who. Yeah, that was weird for me.
Fair enough.
I watched that episode so much, like it was weird. Like on like my fifth viewing of it, I had to stop and realize, oh, that motherfucker's Dumbledore.
Oh,
okay.
Where do we want to go from here? Because we have a ton of stuff that we're not going to get to because we.
The Nintendo.
Let's talk about Nintendo. Yes, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. I know it came out the night after we recorded our last episode.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Switch, which is going to be a handheld console hybrid, where it is essentially a tablet with removable controllers that can be used simultaneously. Or you can give it, I can give one to you, and we can play like Mario Kart or,
well, not even that. Like the controller itself, like literally you can slide it off the screen and you can connect it and you have a controller. I think that was the Wii and Wii U's biggest problem was all these little extra peripherals that were just kind of like, look, I just want to play a fucking game.
Right.
Like that's the main reason why I didn't buy the fucking thing.
I love my Wii U, and I still play it to this day.
I'm too old school. Like I like being able to go, cool, I have a controller, let's do this. Like, I can space out. I'm not sitting there going, yeah, fight. Right. Oh, shit, I'm not moving my left hand. That's why. Block.
No, I can't. I can understand that, yeah.
At the same time, I never forget, I got mad at this one girl. I had a party once, and we were all playing Wii Bowling. And me, like, I took that shit seriously. Like, I stood up.
As you do, yes.
Like, doing the whole gesture, trying to get shit going.
Get that slight curve going at the end? Yeah.
Not even the curve. I'm not that fancy.
All right.
Okay, even when I bowl, I'm like Ron Swanson. Nothing fancy, just straight and down. But she was just sitting on the couch and just like Jabba the Hutt style, just, all right, your turn.
And that was it? That's all she did?
Oh, I gotta go again. After a while, like, her whole arm didn't even move. Like, you just saw it, like, flick.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, you bitch. You're the reason why Pokemon Go had to become a thing. But, like that, like, I could see it in that format of having people over and having it be, like having a collection of board games at your disposal for whenever the fuck you want it. So as, like, a party device, I get it. But as a console, I game by myself, maybe one other person. Like, that's not really, to me, gaming's not really a big group activity.
Fair enough. I think the only multiplayer game that I have, well, 2 multiplayer games, well, 3 now.
Retro games don't count.
Smash Brothers.
Okay.
Mario Party, which we haven't played yet, because we need Wiimotes for that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
And Splatoon, which is online.
Okay.
Every other game that I have is single player.
Or retro.
Or retro.
Or like some remastering of a retro, but whatever. Like the fact that I feel like this is actually trying to... Nintendo's taking steps in the right direction again. I feel like they made a giant leap of faith with the Nintendo Wii. Kind of bit him in the ass.
Now, the Wii was very profitable and popular for them. The Wii U is where they... A lot of people... Look at it this way. Nintendo's consoles
Wii U was the Wii 2.5. Or 1.5.
Nintendo consoles, or Nintendo releases, hardware releases, are like Star Trek movies. Every other one is good. Likewise, every other one is shit.
Okay.
Because let's go back. The Switch, let's say it's going to be good. The Wii U, overall, bad.
Okay.
The Wii, big fucking success. Before that, GameCube.
I love the GameCube.
I loved my GameCube too.
You want to talk dirty on that shit, really?
No, I loved the GameCube too, but it did not do all that well.
Whatever, Dreamcast.
Compared to, now you're just going to bring, you're going to start talking low blows on this.
Salt in the wound. Okay.
Don't be get shit on your ass.
Okay, but before that...
Before that, you had what? The Nintendo 64. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. No, actually...
No, the 64 didn't do that well. like it did in its initial release. But
Where the hell was the Virtual Boy that came out? Oh, it came out at the same time
Before.
as the
it was before the 64.
Yes, okay. There you go. That one. Shit.
Okay, but that's handheld.
But I mean, you could see
We're
where
not
where,
talking
where I'm
about
kind of
handheld.
going with this at this point.
No, not really, because
Really?
you had Nintendo, which kind of
Alright,
saved
alright.
saved the home video games from basically almost dying.
Okay, we're gonna do reverse order. Okay.
Okay. Chronologically, you start at the beginning. That's how
Yes.
you normally do shit. Okay, this is America. We start left to right. Okay, we start at the beginning of the line and move our way down. All right, OtakuLife. And then
Right to left. God damn it.
and then Super Nintendo, which basically made video games popular, especially
Yes, it
home
did.
video games. Like
Yes,
that
it
was
did.
the. Then you had the 64,
Yes.
which took things. I mean, granted, it gave us some of the great classics that we will never forget, like GoldenEye, Super Mario 64. I don't know why I'm blanking on any other video game. Ocarina of Time, which fucking the kids in my office, they're like, "What's Ocarina of Time?"
Wait, seriously?
You motherfuckers are.
Are we that old now that?
I was listening to Ocarina of Rhyme.
They had no idea what you're talking
and
about.
I brought up or the game Ocarina of Time, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" Legend of Zelda game for the Nintendo 64. Oh, I loved GoldenEye. My God, this is why I hate gamers. You fucking Call of Duty piece of shits. But
On a side note, quick tangent, real quick though, I did have to make mention that a bunch of people are still playing these old games. A lot of speedrunners are going through all these old games, and the world record for the fastest time through Ocarina of Time was
through
just
glitches,
beat. It wasn't, well, you could say claim hacks, but they weren't like
through glitches.
I will give them. Yeah, it's them in the game itself.
I don't remember you because I didn't watch it. Well, I didn't watch you. The guy who played that Mega Man speedrun, you also on the shit list. Okay? You don't fucking do that. You play Mega Man like an adult. Screaming and cursing every 5 seconds because you died, because those games are retardedly hard.
But at least those were beatable, unlike Mighty Number 9.
The game was just a piece of shit.
Yeah. No, so the world record has been beat on that. I asked Jordan before to take a guess. He's like an hour, maybe 3 and whatnot. No, the world record right now for the fastest speed time through Ocarina of Time is 17 minutes and 24 seconds or something like that. It's ridiculous.
I'm rolling my eyes as
Absolutely
hard as I
ridiculous.
can. But anyways, the new Nintendo console.
Yeah, anyways.
Nintendo had a bit of a rocky time, but in that same token, I'm hoping this one's good again. I know they've mentioned the fact that they're not going to be like Nintendo games only. Like they're actually going to have real people games, which I think is going to help them out a whole bunch.
Yes.
I'm hoping this is gonna start a whole new generation of nerdlings, because there's people who we're adults now. We're probably gonna start having kids soon. Not you and I. I'm sorry. Biology hasn't figured that one out yet.
Eventually.
But you know what I mean? If you and Jess start having kids, you would be that guy that would buy the NX. I mean, you're gonna buy it regardless.
Oh, day one,
But-
I'm going to buy this thing.
But you will be that person who trains their kid, and I do mean train, to appreciate the classics. You'll be like, oh yeah, right. You start them off with Mario or something simple, and then eventually once they beat that, and they're like, okay, where's Mario? Well, you beat this Mario. Papa's got a brand new bag of games in the e-store. Let's show you some original Super Mario World, and you can start showing them this, and it'll be this
Get
new
the old Legend of Zelda in there.
Get some-
After little shits, I'll give them
Get-
Mega Man and Ninja Gaiden. And,
yeah, basically getting some new blood in a dead corpse.
yeah.
And I'm hoping exactly that's what this is going to do, because the fact that it looks like it kind of seems like they're abandoning the portables and just turning it into
Jesus.
with their console.
I know where you're going with this, and the thing is, it's actually a merger of the two, because you
But
always
see,
you
that's
always
what I
had
mean, though.
you had the handheld and you had the console, so developers would have to just figure out, do we split our resources and do one of each, or do we focus on one or the other? With this one, the handheld is the console. The dock itself, Nintendo already came out and stated that it is just for power and for a connection to your TV. That is it.
But see, that's what I mean though. Like, there no longer will there be some weird Game Boy, and then you'll have the console.
No, yeah.
It's
no.
you have Nintendo.
I'm absolutely stoked for that because the last handheld I had was a Nintendo DSi. Absolutely loved that thing.
just had a
Played
DS.
it. I had a DS. I had it signed by Reggie Fils-Aimé. That was awesome. I remember actually playing with the prototype DS at E3 all those years ago. My mind was blown. But I never had a 3DS. Never had one of the new 3DSs either. So there's a whole slew
The
of
3DS
games
was garbage.
that I missed. Even though the 3D aspect of it was garbage, there was a lot of quality games on there that I missed out on.
I wouldn't say
With
a
the fact
lot.
that the Nintendo Switch, it gets rid of that barrier because if you're making a game for the Switch, it can be played handheld or console. Does not matter. I can actually have a better chance of playing all these great games that I missed out on.
But see,
I
to
love
me,
that.
that's amazing. That is without a doubt my favorite part. I think that's what's gonna help them. Like, this is something that everyone had on their wish list. Like, maybe wasn't in like the top 5, but it was in the top 10. Like, something like, what if we did this? That'd be really cool, right? And Nintendo's making it happen, and everyone's like, holy shit.
Well, we'll find out.
Miyamoto, have you been reading my journal again? We're men. We have journals. We don't have diaries.
We'll find out more information about this in January at a press conference. The console itself is slated to release in March of next year.
Also, I'd like to apologize because my guesstimation was really wrong. I was expecting something that looked like a Target commercial. It basically looked almost like a cell phone commercial. The only thing it was missing was someone complaining about how their connectivity on their device wasn't working and how with Nintendo it was. But other than that, like, out of that,
My network's 1% better than yours, therefore you should.
no, not that 1%. Does it really mean anything anymore? Fuck you, Sprint
It
guy.
could be Shigeru Miyamoto sitting there like, graphics. Do they really need to be bleeding edge? No. But again, that's Nintendo's MO. We don't care about the bleeding edge graphics. We want to give you a solid gaming experience. We want you to give you escapism. And they succeed at that time and time
They want
again.
you to have immersion and fun.
Yeah, and they're going to do that.
You want to get lost in some shit, you go play Nintendo. But I think that's awesome. Like, I'm very much excited to see how that whole thing's gonna go.
Same here.
I might buy a Nintendo console again. I haven't done that since the GameCube.
We will see about
And
that.
I was in junior high when that came out. I was in 7th grade. I remember because my buddy got one for his birthday when we were walking to school. I was so bummed that he got one and I didn't.
I know where you're going with this.
So what year of college were
Yes,
you?
I am old.
What year of college were you when that happened?
Fuck you. Anyways, God damn it. Let's wrap things up with just a very cool thing, but also a very random thing. Where the hell did you find this article?
Nerdist, exactly what you have in front of you.
God.
Like, I was literally just flipping through and it's like David Tennant to calm your day, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, so I need to figure this one out even further. So,
Okay. Basically, in England, even us expats, I guess, or whatever the fuck you want to call us, America, basically we have 4th of July, light fireworks, and, you know, our furry ones tend to get scared, and it's always sad or hard to corral them.
oh yeah, seeing my old dogs back in, back even just last year, just visibly shaking, cowering.
And not
corner
even
'cause
that,
they
like,
didn't stand
it
that.
starts out where you feel bad and you just want to be there for him, and then it turns to, like, blind hatred. You're like, calm the fuck down. But in the UK, they have something called, I think it's like bonfire, like that, which essentially celebrates November the 5th, or for us nerds, Guy Fawkes Day.
Yes.
Remember the 5th of November. Now, this company,
It was 2 insurance companies who decided to put this together.
basically they got David Tennant to basically create video, or basically work for videos where it's him just talking very soothing, or him being very soothing with his voice for like 5-8 minutes, and just
Talking directly to your
Just
dog
talking to your
and
dog.
or cat.
like, my favorite was it because, first off, these videos, puns, they have pun names.
Oh.
And there's 2 videos. There's one for dogs and one for cats. The dog video is called Woofering Heights, which is after Withering Heights, which, in retrospect, I find funny because when I read that book, I couldn't take it seriously because the main character's name was Heathcliff. So the times I'm trying to imagine this very angry, vengeful guy, I'm imagining this fat orange cat that's not Garfield.
And the cat version
is called Peer Window.
Yeah. Homage to Hitchcock's Rear Window. These videos, even though they're designed for your pets...
Oh yeah, they filmed it in such a way that it's appealing to the color spectrums and visually just it is audible marijuana for your your pets essentially.
Oh,
it's meant to just make them go like, "Hey, what's going? Hey guys, you want to just hang out and watch Harold and Kumar?"
No, it just turns around. It's David Tennant, just like, sit down.
No.
Relax.
The best one is Wolfering Heights, saying, "Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?" And you laugh because you heard it.
Oh yeah.
Like he says that like 5 times, and it's like, oh my god.
But here's the thing, though. There's many. Obviously, is also a joke for pet owners and just fans of David Tennant as well. It's just funny as hell because in the past, David Tennant has done audio recordings of original, poems and whatnot, talking about going on a date or something like that. Things I'm going to do to you, and it's just like, yeah,
this is weird. Good weird, but weird.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to sit there, touch you, kiss you, and I'm like,
Yeah, because as I was playing it for Jess, like, I remember you were just sitting here and you, like, leaned over and you're just like, why are you listening to a list? And you immediately got shushed really fucking quickly.
Very quickly,
and it was
yes.
like, David Tennant's talking. You fucking shut your whore mouth. And
Which I didn't realize at the time until I finally read the article that you sent. I was like, oh.
Dude, I sat there and was reading the whole article. It's just, you were actually collecting articles for the show. Mm-hmm. You were, working while I was fucking off and then just realizing I'll get drunk later and make shit up as I go.
Now, just imagine, because, like, some people were talking about in the comments of this nurse article was like, what if he was doing some, like, the guise of, like, Kilgrave? His character from, what's it called? From Jessica Jones.
He's just trying to compel your pet to murder you.
Yeah. Just calm down. Relax. See his throat? Rip it out.
I told you my biggest problem with Jessica Jones was the fact that I couldn't take it seriously for most of it, because anytime he would talk, I'm like, Tennant, you dreamy. You do what you gotta do.
Just remember, he's not 10 anymore.
Dude, that was the best fucking joke ever. Especially,
oh, God, that was amazing.
because the way they timed it, where even if you're just watching it with subtitles, Jessica, who utters the line, "You're not 10 anymore," isn't even on the screen. And you see David Tennant. Just angry, sad potato on the couch.
Oh, it was amazing.
With the titles below it, "You're not 10 anymore." And I'm just like, oh. Because the worst part is when I heard that, I wanted to send it to a friend of mine. So I put on the subtitles, hoping it would show up at some point. So I can just do like quick screen grabs of her saying, "You're not 10 anymore," and him looking really sad. Like Keanu Reeves on a bench eating a sandwich. But then sure enough, right when that showed up, that was him just mush pile. And it's like, oh my God.
Yep.
Oh, I made myself sad.
Yeah.
No, I forgot to tell you. They announced there will be no Ninja Turtles 3.
Really?
They had plans for Turtles 3, but they've decided, no, we're good. They've passed on it because 2 did not do well enough. When 2 was amazing.
This is not because of Tomorrowland, you sick fuck.
I know. I can't even blame you.
You can't blame me on
There is no
this.
loop you into this. And if there is, I haven't figured it out yet. So fucking stay tuned.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, I don't know why I just remembered that.
So no Turtles 3 on that.
Man.
Just him, just no Terror Dome and, giant weird-ass Krang and...
Terror... What the fuck you mean, the Technodrome?
Technodrome. Terrordrome.
Terror...
I've been drinking.
Senility is setting in, kids.
God, fuck. On that note, I think we drink a little bit.
I already have, man.
All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up after that because Eddie Moore and my sanity is probably going to be snapped by either by him or her. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are here every other week. You will find these episodes on Friday on YouTube. We record these usually on Wednesdays. We're recording this on a Thursday. So We will see you guys in 2 weeks. So,
Yes.
Geeks and Drinks, I'm Jason.
I'm Jordan.
Cheers, Internet.